inspirational images, and powerful poetry. Last week, we were introduced to the different types of poetry writing that are covered in this e-learning module, and we set up our digital document portfolio for this course. This is Lesson 2 in a 4-lesson series on writing poetry for digital photos. Today, we will review the 6 traits of good writing and explore quatrains and cinquains. The 6 traits of writing include ideas, organization, voice, word choice, sentence fluency, and conventions. Ideas. This component focuses on the main idea and content of the piece. The writer chooses details that are informative and not necessarily details that the reader already knows. Organization. This trait requires that the piece fits in with the central idea. The organizational structure needs to follow a pattern, such as chronological order, compare and contrast, or any other logical pattern. The writer needs to make strong connections to keep the reader's interest. Voice. This trait refers to the style of the writer. The voice is where the writer imparts his or her personal tone to the piece while still fitting in with the genre of the work. Word choice. Word choice requires that the writer choose his or her words very carefully. The writer should enlighten the reader by choosing strong words that clarify or expand the idea. Sentence fluency. This trait requires that sentences flow naturally and smoothly. Fluent writing has rhythm and is free of awkward word patterns. And conventions. This trait focuses on the correctness of the piece in terms of spelling, grammar, and punctuation. Now, we will go on to discover and create poetry for the following poetry forms: quatrains and cinquains. Let's get started with quatrains. Quatrains provide an effective springboard for students of all ages. Quatrains are 4-line stanzas with basic rhyming patterns. Quatrains can have 4 possible end rhyme patterns: A-A-B-B, A-B-A-B, A-B-B-A, and A-B-C-B, where matching letters represent lines with rhyming endwords or syllables. Quatrains rely on rhyme. Many poems make use of the quatrain, so understanding the quatrain is an important step for students first learning poetry. The differences between these end rhyme schemes is the rhyming word patterns at the end of each line. When writing quatrains, it is important to keep the rhyme schemes consistent. I take a lot of pictures of bees, so it is fairly easy for me to write about bees. Here are several examples of quatrains with different rhyme schemes that I wrote about bees. The rhyme pattern A-B-A-B. Oh, the amazing honeybees, buzzing busily from flower to hive, carrying pollen on their knees, collecting nectar to stay alive. Here's another. The rhyme scheme is A-B-B-A. Attracted to their sweet bouquet, the bee lights on blooming flowers, in between the April showers that bring us to the month of May. And finally, A-A-B-B. Don't you think it's very funny how the bees make their honey? They drink nectar all day on the fly, then use their wings to blow it dry. Now you try. Be sure to choose a photo you like, choose a rhyme scheme, and most importantly, have fun. Next, we'll look at cinquains. Cinquains are fun. Cinquains are just 5 lines long, with only a few words on each line, making them easy to write. The first and last lines have just 2 syllables, while the middle lines have more, so they end up with a diamond-like shape similar to the poetic form called the diamante. There are actually many different ways to write a cinquain. So I'm just going to teach you how to write a traditional one. These are the rules. Cinquains have 5 lines only. They have 2 syllables in the first line, 4 in the second, 6 in the third, 8 in the fourth, and just 2 in the last line. Cinquains do not need to rhyme, but you can include rhymes if you want to. That's it, just those 3 simple rules. Once you get the syllable count right, make sure that the poem says what you want it to say. You may need to go back and change it some more so that it tells the story you want it to. Once your cinquain is finished, read it again, counting the syllables on your fingers to make sure that you got everything right. Most importantly, have fun. Next week, we will look at haiku tanka and rhyming couplets. Until then, enjoy your poetry writing.